A chill descends upon the city's ancient transit veins, deeper than any winter storm. Corporate shadows, sleek and silent, infiltrate the forgotten undertunnels with calculated precision. Their advanced mechs, predatory and cold, hum with an unsettling, almost religious purpose. Each technician carries a heavy, leather-bound manual, its pages filled with forbidden, arcane symbols. These are not mere they are sacred texts, detailing rituals of mechanical resurrection and control. The air grows thick with ozone and anticipation, a silent prayer whispered in the subterranean gloom. Their objective: seize the Titan's core, bending its immense power to corporate will, a twisted sacrament. Flickering emergency lights reveal the grime-caked tracks, a labyrinth leading to the city's metallic heart. The corporate team moves with synchronized efficiency, their movements a stark, chilling ballet of invasion. Sensors scan for the crew's presence, anticipating resistance, yet finding only the echoing silence. Dust motes dance in the harsh beams of their headlamps, illuminating forgotten graffiti and ancient rust. They bypass old security systems with ease, their digital keys unlocking secrets buried for centuries. A low thrum vibrates through the very rock, signaling the proximity of the colossal, slumbering Titan. The technicians feel a tremor of awe, a primal fear of the power they seek to command and control. Their leader, a woman with eyes like polished obsidian, consults her ritual manual, lips moving silently. She traces ancient sigils with a gloved finger, preparing for the profound, dangerous act of recalibration. The air crackles with latent energy, a premonition of the sacred violation about to unfold deep below. They reach a vast, cavernous chamber where the Titan's support structures loom like skeletal gods. Massive conduits snake across the ceiling, pulsing with a faint, otherworldly blue light, alive and restless. The corporate mechs deploy, forming a defensive perimeter, their weapon systems primed and ready for conflict. The lead technician gestures, and smaller drones detach, scouting the immediate vicinity for any anomalies. Their ritual altar, a portable array of gleaming sensors, unfolds silently on the cold, damp concrete. The air grows heavy with the scent of metallic dust and old magic, a potent and dangerous combination. They prepare to initiate their own repair sequence, a corporate blessing, seeking absolute, unyielding dominion. This is not maintenance. It is an attempted coup, a forceful rewriting of the Titan's very purpose. The manual's pages glow faintly, reflecting the ambition and the terrifying hubris of their endeavor. A soft, almost imperceptible hum begins to emanate from the Titan's dormant core, sensing the intrusion. The corporate team ignores it, convinced their superior technology and forgotten rituals will ensure success. They believe they are saviors, bringing order to chaos, but they are merely new priests of a dying god. The first energy spike flares from their altar, a defiant beacon in the perpetual subterranean night. Simultaneously, from another access point, the crew initiates their own desperate, heartfelt repair ritual. Their tools are worn, their hands scarred, their faith a fragile shield against the encroaching darkness. A different kind of energy pulses, warm and organic, attempting to soothe the Titan's wounded, ancient spirit. The two opposing frequencies collide deep within the Titan's vast network, creating a discordant shriek. Reality shimmers, a distorted mirror reflecting impossible geometries in the confined tunnel spaces. Lights flicker violently across the city above, plunging entire districts into momentary, terrifying darkness. The ground trembles beneath commuters' feet, a low, guttural growl escaping the earth's stony maw. Walls of the subway tunnels begin to crack, fissures spreading like spiderwebs of impending doom. The air becomes heavy, difficult to breathe, charged with conflicting magical and mechanical energies. Both teams press on, unaware of the other's presence, each convinced their path is the only salvation. The corporate technicians chant in hushed, technical tones, their voices echoing with cold, calculated power. The crew, however, works with a frantic, desperate urgency, their breaths forming clouds in the cold air. They remember the cost, the memories sacrificed, the identities blurred for the Titan's continued existence. The Titan itself groans, a sound like grinding tectonic plates, caught between two warring masters. Its vast internal mechanisms begin to spasm, gears locking, then grinding, then lurching violently. The conflicting signals tear at its ancient programming, pulling its consciousness in divergent, painful directions. Small electrical fires erupt along dormant control panels, casting eerie, dancing shadows on the walls. The stench of burning wires fills the tunnels, a bitter perfume of technological agony and betrayal. Gravity itself seems to waver, objects momentarily floating before crashing back to the grimy floor. The corporate leader smiles grimly, interpreting the chaotic feedback as signs of the Titan's capitulation. The crew feels a wave of despair, their connection to the Titan suddenly fractured, its pain amplified. The air vibrates with an unbearable tension, a silent scream building in the very fabric of reality. They realize another force is at play, another hand attempting to guide the Titan's fragile destiny. Their eyes meet, a shared understanding of the dire, impossible situation dawning upon them grimly. A massive, shuddering tremor rattles the entire underground network, signaling the true battle's command. Dust rains down from the ceiling, thick and suffocating, blinding them momentarily in the sudden chaos. The corporate mechs detect the crew's presence, their optical sensors locking on to the unexpected intruders. Alarms blare, piercing the suffocating silence, a harsh, metallic cry echoing through the tunnels. The ritual manuals are abandoned. The struggle now shifts from sacred rites to brutal, desperate combat. Two distinct repair ideologies clash, one seeking control, the other desperately striving for fragile balance. Corporate mechs, sleek and agile, engage the crew's older, heavier maintenance frames in the confined spaces. Lasers slice through the darkness, painting fleeting, deadly patterns on the grimy tunnel walls. The air fills with the shriek of grinding metal, the explosive impact of heavy rounds, the scent of burning circuits. The crew's titans, designed for repair, now fight with a desperate, primal fury, protecting their charge. Their heavy tool arms, usually for delicate work, become blunt instruments of devastating, righteous destruction. Corporate mechs, built for war, move with ruthless efficiency. Their every movement a calculated strike. Shockwaves from each impact travel through the earth, shaking foundations of buildings miles above. Apartments shudder like coffins, glass shattering, plaster raining down on unsuspecting, terrified residents. The city above experiences a localized earthquake, its infrastructure groaning under the unseen strain. Families huddle in fear, wondering about the source of the relentless, subterranean, thunderous assault. The conflict below is a storm trapped underground, its fury unleashed upon the bedrock of civilization. One of the crew's titans, the Anvil, slams a corporate mech against a concrete pillar with immense force. Sparks shower like dying stars, the enemy machine crumpling into a twisted, useless heap of metal. Another corporate mech retaliates, firing a concentrated energy blast that scorches the Anvil's armored plating. The crew inside feels the impact, their bodies jolting violently, warning lights flashing red across dashboards. The confined tunnels amplify every sound, every explosion, creating a deafening symphony of mechanical war. Dust and debris fill the air, reducing visibility to mere feet, adding to the chaotic, claustrophobic atmosphere. The Titan's core, still oscillating between conflicting rituals, flares with dangerous, unstable energy bursts. These uncontrolled surges strike indiscriminately, damaging both corporate and crew mechs alike. A neutral wrath. The corporate leader barks orders, her voice calm amidst the pandemonium, her resolve unwavering and cold. She directs her forces to prioritize the crew, seeing them as obstacles to the Titan's ultimate subjugation. The crew, however, fights defensively, attempting to draw the corporate mechs away from critical Titan access points. They know the true danger lies not in defeat, but in the Titans succumbing to the corporate ritual. A massive tremor rocks the tunnel, causing a section of the ceiling to groan ominously, then crack. Dirt and rock cascade down, threatening to bury the combatants, adding another layer of peril. The pilot of the loom, a faster, more agile crew titan, weaves through laser fire with practiced grace. She attempts to flank the corporate forces, seeking to disrupt their ritual altar, their source of power. Corporate drones, small and numerous, swarm around her, their buzzing a menacing, metallic chorus. She swats them aside, their fragile bodies exploding into sparks. But more replace them, relentless and cold. The battle is a desperate dance of destruction, a brutal struggle for the soul of a dying reality. The ground beneath them shifts violently, a deep, resonant groan echoing from the city's very foundations. A section of the subway line above them buckles, its tracks twisting into grotesque, unnatural shapes. Commuters on a passing train feel a lurch, then a terrible, grinding sound as metal tears apart. The train derails, its cars slamming into the tunnel walls, screams erupting in the sudden, horrifying darkness. Dust and concrete explode upwards, obscuring the chaos as the ceiling above the combatants gives way. The subway cars rupture, spilling their terrified occupants into the jagged maw of the collapsing tunnel. Debris rains down, crushing seats and luggage, a terrifying avalanche of concrete and twisted steel. Panicked commuters scramble, their cries muffled by the roar of collapsing infrastructure and distant explosions. The corporate mechs pause, their code sensors registering the new variable, human collateral damage. For them, these lives are merely statistics, acceptable losses in the pursuit of their ultimate objective. The crew, however, sees faces, hears desperate pleas, their humanity conflicting with the brutal battle. A young mother clutches her child, trapped beneath a fallen beam, her eyes wide with unutterable terror. An old man, his leg pinned, gasps for breath amidst the choking dust, his life slowly ebbing away. The Titan's internal systems register the sudden influx of human suffering, a new, agonizing data point. Its fractured consciousness recoils, a wave of digital empathy momentarily overriding its core programming. The corporate leader sees this hesitation, a weakness to exploit a new leverage in their violent game. She orders a tactical shift, used a trapped civilians as bait, as hostages for the Titan's compliance. Corporate mechs advance towards the crash site, their weapons now aimed not at the Titans, but at the helpless. The crew watches in horror, their battle instincts warring with their desperate need to save innocent lives. The mechanic, inside the rivet, feels a surge of righteous fury, his hands tightening on the controls. He knows this tactic, this cold, calculated cruelty, a hallmark of corporate dominion and control. The Titan itself emits a low, mournful wail, a sound of ancient pain and profound, helpless despair. The corporate mechs begin to herd the survivors, pushing them deeper into precarious, unstable sections. Their cold, metallic voices issue commands, promising safety for cooperation, threatening pain for defiance. The air fills with the desperate pleas of the trapped, their fear a palpable, suffocating presence. The crew's Titans are caught in an impossible dilemma. Fight the mechs, or protect the vulnerable humans. Their primary mission, the Titan's repair, now seems secondary to the immediate, crushing human cost. The leader of the crew, her face etched with grim determination, makes a difficult, agonizing decision. They must prioritize the lives, even if it means jeopardizing the fragile, ongoing repair sequence. The anvil diverts from its combat, its massive form lumbering towards the collapsing subway cars. It uses its reinforced arm to brace a cracking support column, preventing further, immediate collapse. Its pilot, sweat dripping from her brow, carefully extracts a trapped woman from the tangled wreckage. The loom, moving with impossible speed, creates a temporary shield, deflecting fallen debris from a group. The corporate forces capitalize on this distraction, intensifying their assault on the unguarded Titan core. The ritual altar flares brighter, its invasive energy now directly assaulting the Titan's very essence. The Titan shudders violently, its systems screaming in protest, its ancient heart under direct siege. The crew's mechanic watches, torn between rescuing the living and saving the dying reality itself. He understands the corporation's brutal logic. Force a choice between immediate life and long-term existence. A wave of nausea washes over him, the moral weight of their impossible situation pressing down heavily. The cries of the wounded echo through the tunnels, a haunting chorus of the city's profound vulnerability. The corporate leader smiles, A cold, predatory glint in her eyes, seeing victory within her grasp. Her forces continue to tighten their grip on the civilians, using their fear as a potent, terrible weapon. The Titan's energy signature falters, its defenses weakening under the combined assault and moral dilemma. The crew desperately tries to balance the impossible, their resources stretched thin, their hope dwindling. The crew leader, seeing the Titan's weakening state, issues a new, desperate command: improvise a partial ritual. This unorthodox approach, born of dire necessity, aims to stabilize the Titan without sacrificing lives. The mechanic, the Rivet's pilot, directs his Titan to a secondary access panel, a forgotten conduit. He remembers old schematics, half-forgotten whispers of emergency protocols, now suddenly vivid in his mind. His hands fly across the controls, inputting a complex sequence of commands, a desperate prayer in binary. The other crew members, still engaged in rescue and combat, provide cover, their movements synchronized and precise. The loom uses its energy field to create a temporary, shimmering barrier around the mechanic's exposed Titan. The anvil, having secured a group of survivors, now turns its attention back to the encroaching corporate mechs. Its heavy fists connect with metallic armor, sending sparks flying, buying precious seconds for the mechanic. The partial ritual requires a different kind of offering, not memory, but pure, unadulterated willpower. The mechanic pushes past his fatigue, his mind a whirlwind of data, his focus absolute and unwavering. He channels his own essence into the Titan's systems, a direct, agonizing connection to its suffering core. A searing pain lances through his skull, 1,000 years of the Titan's weariness flooding his consciousness. His vision blurs, the console light swimming before his eyes, but he refuses to break the sacred link. The Titan responds, a faint flicker of recognition, a momentary surge of its ancient, potent power. The conflicting energies within its core begin to coalesce, forming a fragile, temporary equilibrium. The local reality stabilizes, the shimmering distortions fading, the tremors subsiding to a gentle thrum. The corporate altar falters, its invasive signal momentarily disrupted by the crew's improvised, desperate counter. The corporate leader curses, her calm facade cracking, realizing the crew has found an unexpected pathway. Her mechs redouble their efforts, unleashing a volley of fire at the exposed rivet, trying to sever the connection. The loom's shield strains under the assault, shimmering violently, threatening to collapse at any moment. The mechanic screams, a guttural cry of effort and pain, pushing his mind to its absolute, shattering limit. He sees flashes of other realities, dying worlds held together by the Titan's failing, desperate grace. The burden of cosmic hospice, the Titan's true nature, presses down on him, a crushing, unbearable weight. The ritual completes, a surge of energy flowing back from the Titan, an exhausted, grateful sigh. The Titan's energy signature solidifies, its core no longer vulnerable to the corporate assault, but scarred. The corporate mechs recoil, their weapons losing their effectiveness against the newly reinforced, stabilized Titan. The trapped civilians are now safer, the immediate threat of collapse averted, but the cost is immense. The mechanic slumps forward, his body racked with tremors, his mind a shattered landscape of cosmic despair. He feels the echoes of countless dying worlds, a profound, agonizing empathy for the Titan's endless burden. His personal cost, a piece of his sanity, sacrificed to bridge the gap between man and dying machine. His eyes, once sharp and focused, now hold a distant, haunted look, seeing beyond the immediate reality. The Titan, though stabilized, now carries a new, deeper resonance of human pain within its ancient core. The corporate leader observes the mechanic's collapse, a chilling satisfaction dawning on her cruel features. She understands the personal cost, an offering more valuable than any memory or physical component. Her data logs record the mechanic's unique neural signature, his connection to the Titan, a new resource. The battle shifts. Again, the corporate objective is no longer merely seizure, but strategic acquisition of knowledge. They have found a new vulnerability, a new way to exploit the Titans' profound, desperate need for repair. The crew rushes to the mechanic side, their faces etched with concern, their victory feeling hollow. He is unresponsive, his body limp, his mind lost in the terrifying, infinite expanse of the Titan's consciousness. The Titan, now more aware of its connection, feels the mechanic's absence, a sudden, profound emptiness. A low, mournful hum emanates from its core, a sound of digital grief, of mechanical, sentient panic. Its systems, briefly stable, begin to waver again, reacting to the mechanic's sudden, critical withdrawal. The stabilization was temporary, dependent on the mechanic's conscious, agonizing connection to its dying self. The Titan sphere manifests as localized energy fluctuations, causing lights to dim and flicker erratically. The corporate mechs, sensing this renewed instability, hold their positions, observing the unfolding tragedy. They have gained invaluable data, understanding the true nature of the Titan's sacrificial maintenance. The Titan's panic intensifies, a desperate, silent scream echoing through the cavernous underground chambers. It lashes out blindly, a surge of raw, unfocused energy erupting from its core, scattering debris. The corporate leader smiles, a chilling, calculating expression, seeing new opportunities in the Titan's distress. She knows the Titan is vulnerable, its emotional core exposed, its reliance on the mechanic now clear. The data they collected is priceless, revealing the intimate, terrifying bond between machine and human. The crew tries to comfort the mechanic, but he remains unresponsive, lost in his waking nightmare. The Titan's panic now focuses, a single, desperate thought echoing through the tunnels. Return him. Its immense form begins to shift, a low rumble preceding a more significant, threatening movement. The corporate leader raises a hand, signaling her forces to prepare for a strategic, calculated withdrawal. The corporate mechs, their mission accomplished, begin to disengage, retreating with calculated, deliberate movements. Their ritual altar, its invasive glow, now subdued, folds back into its compact, innocuous form. The corporate leader, her face a mask of cold satisfaction, surveys the scene of chaos and despair. She knows they have secured a victory, not of conquest, but of profound, insidious understanding. Their data streams are full of the Titan's emotional responses, the mechanic's neural patterns, and ritual vulnerabilities. The cost of their incursion, a few damaged mechs and some civilian casualties, is deemed acceptable. For the corporation, lives are simply variables, easily quantifiable and replaceable in their grand scheme. They leave behind shattered subway cars, terrified survivors, and a crew grappling with profound loss. The corporate mechs ascend through the tunnels, their metallic footsteps echoing the hollow victory they achieved. The city above remains largely oblivious, only minor tremors registered, quickly dismissed as geological shifts. But deep below, the scars of this battle run deeper than mere structural damage, impacting the soul. The air still hangs heavy with ozone and fear, a lingering testament to the brutal, unseen conflict. The corporate leader reports her findings, a chilling analysis of the Titan's emotional dependency and human interface. She suggests new protocols, new methods of ritualized control, leveraging the Titan's pain for their gain. The corporation accepts the loss of direct control, understanding that indirect manipulation is far more potent. They now possess the keys to a different kind of power, a psychological leverage over the ancient machine. The retreat is swift, leaving the crew alone in the wreckage, facing the consequences of their desperate defense. The silence that follows is deafening, broken only by the whimpers of the injured and the Titan's low hum. The crew gathers around the unconscious mechanic, their faces grim, their hearts heavy with a shared despair. They know the battle is not truly over. It has merely shifted, becoming a more insidious, internal struggle. The corporate withdrawal is a strategic repositioning, not a defeat, a chilling promise of future, deeper incursions. The cold, calculating nature of their enemy becomes clearer, a force that weaponizes empathy and sacrifice. The city above continues its oblivious rhythm, unaware of the profound, existential threat lurking beneath its streets. The rescued civilians are slowly evacuated, their trauma a silent testament to the unseen war for reality. Their shaken faces reflect the horror, a fleeting glimpse into the desperate, hidden struggle for existence. The crew watches them leave, a mix of relief and profound sorrow etched onto their weary, battle-worn features. The tunnels are now a graveyard of twisted metal and broken dreams, a monument to corporate ruthlessness. But the biggest wound remains the mechanic, his mind trapped in the Titan's terrifying, boundless consciousness. The Titan's hum grows louder, Moain Shistento, a desperate plea echoing through the cavernous, wounded space. It searches for the mechanic's unique neural signature, its digital tendrils reaching out, finding only absence. The crew realizes the Titan is not merely panicking. It is actively demanding the return of its connection. Its systems flicker, threatening to destabilize again, mirroring its profound distress and growing agitation. The air crackles with renewed tension, a palpable sense of mechanical wrath building in the wounded Titan. It is a child crying for its lost parent, a god demanding its chosen priest, a terrifying, primal need. The other Titans, connected to the core, begin to respond, their own systems reflecting the core's distress. Their lights pulse erratically, their dormant weapon systems twitching, ready to unleash unseen fury. The crew tries to soothe the Titan, inputting calming commands, but their efforts are met with cold indifference. The Titan's focus is singular, its ancient will now entirely consumed by the mechanic's profound absence. The voice, once a gentle lullaby in the mechanic's mind, now echoes with an omniscient, terrifying certainty. It speaks, not through radios, but directly into their minds. A chilling, inescapable, resonant whisper. He is mine! It asserts its voice, a symphony of dying stars and shattered realities, ancient and vast. The crew recoils, a cold dread washing over them, realizing the true, terrifying depth of their bond. They had merely maintained the Titan. Now it claims ownership, demanding its price for continued existence. The Titan's energy signature spikes. Again, a warning, a promise of unimaginable destruction if defied. The ground trembles anew, not from combat, but from the Titan's immense, burgeoning, sentient will. Its massive frame shifts, causing new cracks to spiderweb across the cavernous chamber walls above them. The crew leader steps forward, her voice strained, attempting to reason with the colossal, wounded entity. He is injured, she pleads. He needs time to recover, to return from your depths. The Titan responds with a guttural growl, a sound like mountains crumbling, utterly devoid of compassion. Return him, it reiterates, its voice now laced with an undeniable, terrifying, ancient threat. Or, it continues, a pause, pregnant with cosmic menace, provide an equivalent offering instead. The implication hangs heavy in the air, a chilling proposition, a sacrifice demanded for fragile stability. The crew exchanges horrified glances, understanding the Titan's terrifying, escalating, insatiable hunger. What equivalent could there be for a mind that touched the essence of dying realities for such a soul? The Titan's eyes, vast and glowing, fix upon them an ancient, unwavering gaze, piercing their very souls. Its hum intensifies, a pressure building in their minds, threatening to crush their fragile human consciousness. The cavern walls begin to weep dust, small stones fallen, a silent countdown to an unknown, terrible fate. The Titan demands not merely maintenance, but worship, a ritual of constant, agonizing, personal sacrifice. They are no longer mechanics. They are priests bound to a dying god that refuses to truly perish. The question hangs heavy. Who among them will be the next offering, the next memory, the next mind? The unconscious mechanic stirs faintly, a soft moan escaping his lips, lost in his private, hellish communion. His hand twitches, revealing fresh, intricate schematics carved into his palm, glowing with faint, blue light. These are not mere drawings. They are blueprints of sacrifice, maps to new, terrifying, existential repairs. The Titan's demand is clear. A life for a life, a soul for a soul, to maintain its fragile existence. The crew stands frozen, faced with an impossible choice. Their faces pale in the eerie blue light. The Titan's patience wanes. It's rumbling, growing deeper, more impatient. A cosmic clock ticking loudly. The very air vibrates with its growing displeasure. A palpable threat hanging over their weary heads. They look at each other, unspoken questions in their eyes. A shared terror of the coming, awful decision. The Titan will not be denied. Its ancient hunger, once sated by memories, now demands something far greater. Its metallic skin shimmers, reflecting the eerie blue glow. A monstrous, beautiful, terrifying entity. The fate of their city, perhaps their reality, hinges on this impossible, heartbreaking, sacrificial exchange. The mechanic's unconscious face is serene, yet haunted, lost in a world beyond their comprehension. The Titan's ultimatum echoes a chilling prophecy of future, agonizing, ritualized loss for its survival. The crew understands. Preservation is indeed a slow extinction, demanding ever-increasing, terrible currency. The air grows cold, a premonition of the sacrifices yet to come, the choices they must inevitably make. The Titan waits, its vast presence, a silent, terrifying judge, demanding its due, its eternal price. The crew stands on the precipice of a new, darker era of maintenance, where lives are merely components. The city above sleeps, oblivious to the sacred horror unfolding in its hidden, subterranean heart. The Titan's gaze, ancient and heavy, rests upon them all, calculating the true, ultimate cost of its being. Its final demand hangs heavy in the air, a chilling promise. Return him, or choose his replacement. A cold dread settles over the crew, the weight of the Titan's will crushing their resolve. The cavern pulses with an ominous, rhythmic thrum, a heartbeat of impending, terrible consequence. They are trapped, guardians of a dying god, forced to feed its insatiable, cosmic hunger. The mechanic's carved palms glow brighter, revealing more complex, disturbing patterns of flesh and light. These are not mere drawings. They are prophecies, etched in pain, demanding a gruesome future tribute. The Titan's voice, now a resonant chorus, fills their very bones with its ancient, unyielding command. The offering is due. It rumbles. The price of existence must always be paid in full. The air chills further, a whisper of impending doom permeating the vast, subterranean chamber. The crew leader's eyes meet her team's, a silent, agonizing question passing between them all. Who will be the sacrifice? The next memory to be consumed? The next soul to be offered? The Titan waits, its silent judgment a crushing weight, its hungry gaze fixed upon their terrified faces. The darkness deepens around them, a suffocating embrace of the Titan's vast, ancient, predatory will. The cliffhanger looms, a terrifying question mark at the heart of their desperate, ongoing, cosmic struggle.